Let's start off with this first. Here we have the RC8. Okay, this RC8 is a team associated. Uh, awesome friggin' car. Um, it's got a .28 engine in it with a brand new .28 engine. Okay, I have the Reedy aftermarket racing exhaust for it. I have some of the upgrades for the servos. Here I have an Acer and the high-tech HS985 MG. It's got a lot of torque behind it. I took a tire band and I made a component here for the battery pack, which is this one right here. But I also have a secondary one, which is a LiPo version. So those are for the RC8s. Inside here I have a Spectrum receiver inside here. I run Spectrum receivers and I'll show you why in a minute. I added the mud guards to it. The springs have been upgraded from the factory ones, but they're not the highest quality ones yet. Fuel tank, of course, added a clear fuel tank so you can see what you're running a little bit clearer. All the bands have been added to it. I have heat shields on the tubing. Also a fuel filter, which I have for both vehicles. It was not on the other vehicle yet, but I do have it with it. I upgraded the suspension arms, or the A-arms, to a higher quality A-arm. Let's see what else we got here. We got plenty of tires for it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sets of tires. 1, 2, 3, 4 are 4 are brand new. One is two are barely used, and a set that's already on it, which are still very good quality tires. These are the air filters here, with plenty of changeable filters. We have 2 bodies for it. I have a custom body, which is the red Monster body, which is the one I use now because it's got the little red tip. And I also have the black one with the black tip down there, and it's the standard RC8 body for it. You know, for the other vehicle here is a Traxxas 3.3, but it's not a 3.3 anymore. I just finished breaking this motor today. That's why it's a little dirty, but it's still dusty. It's not too bad. But this is a OS .21 engine, which is an upgrade, an extreme upgrade. For this Traxxas. I got the aftermarket THS racing exhaust. I have the steel spur gear along with a racing clutch system, the same form of racing clutch system which is used for the RC8, and transmission has been upgraded. It's got the reverse taken out, which got the reverse kit added to it. I also have the brake system for the rear added to it. The servos have been upgraded to Spectrum servo here, and the high-tech HS985 underneath. It's been converted over to the one servo steering because it's just no conflict between the servos. Piggyback shocks have been upgraded along with the sway arms for the front and the sway arms for the back. I also upgraded to RPM A-arms for front and back conversion kit. Very powerful, very strong. Upgraded the push rods and stuff are all upgraded. The upgraded tires been changed out. I do have another set of tires to go with the Traxxas as well. Let's see what else has been done. The fuel tank has been converted. Battery box has been moved up to the front, a bigger battery box, along with the servo box over here has been converted, changed out to a tiny one rather than the big large one that was in there. I do have the aluminum throttle arm with it. It's not on right now, but it's brand new. I have it with it along with the fuel filter, and upgraded from the 150cc fuel tank to the 250cc fuel tank. You can see it's a huge fuel tank. I do have what I call my beat body with it, which I use to help brake in the engine, so when it rolls over or when I'm out bashing or whatever. And then I have my brand new body that has not been actually put on yet. And you also will get a little workstation here, along with some more J-Concept tire bands, the thin ones and the wider ones. 2 fuel bottles. I have more of this floating around too. I have to bring it out. A lot of bead locks going to come with it. We'll have a lot of extra. These are already on zip ties, or the body clips, and I have a ton of body clips, which I will lay out here in a minute. Quite a few extra glow plugs. As you might know, glow plugs are not cheap. For the Traxxas, I also have an external filter for the air filter as well. You'll get all your hex screwdriver kits along with the Phillips and the flathead screwdriver kit, so you have all the tools you'll need for these cars. We have extra batteries for the Traxxas. We have 2 extra there. I have a hot shot, a glow plug igniter, along with another one floating around here somewhere. I'll probably get for this next layout. Extra receivers for the Spectrum and for Traxxas. I have a Duratrax Flashpoint thermometer. Awesome little gadget there. Hand grips for the remote. If you run races and you need your lap counter, this is your lap counter for your car. It will come with it. It comes with, because of this, the quality of this DX3S controller here, I have a temperature gauge here, which can go on your car to monitor your temperature. We have 2 of these looped bind cables, if you need to use a bind cable. This is the top of the line DX3S Spectrum remote. When it controls both these cars, both are already set up in here. You can go in there and you choose which car you want to have set. It reads your RPMs. I have an RPM kit that goes with this. So you can read your RPMs. You can also read your temperature. You can't beat it. It's the best. I mean, I think it's the best out there. It's not. It's not cheap, I'll tell you that. So Spectrum, that will run both cars, and it will run a third car, which I do already have the third receiver. If you happen to have another car that you want to run all 3 cars off of. Multiple chargers here for the different glow plugs and the starter boxes, to include a Turnigy one, which will do pretty much every battery you got: LiPo, nickel metal, NiCad, lead, PB lead, anything really. 2 starter boxes. The starter box here is for the Traxxas. This starter box here is for the RC8. And if you want to do a rear start for your RC8, I also have the Team Associated Pro Start for the rear start. So plenty of starters, and plenty of extra decals that I had floating around that I get tossed in there with it as well. So you can see the price I'm asking pretty much, and it comes and the overall case for your controller and your parts. Now I'm going to pause this video. You won't notice it, but I'm going to pause this video, clear off this bed, and then make room for everything else that's going to be coming with this auction. So stand by. Okay, now in the second part of the video, you can see all types of components here laid out on the bed, which are all extra components for the Traxxas primarily, and then over here more of the RC8. I don't have as much for the RC8, but I do have some things for the RC8. Plenty of fuel tanks for the RC8. Don't ask me why. Brand new fuel tanks, used fuel tanks. I have a lot of fuel tanks for the RC8. A lot of filters for the RC8. Fuel shutoff, little clicking device. This is a new engine mount. I put the factory one back on, but this is a heatsink style engine mount. More spur gears for the RC8. Front A-arms for the RC8, Team Associated, some RC8 caster blocks, camber rod ends, things I thought I might need. An actual full clutch system right here. Extra other components, the old shocks, which you can still utilize if you need it to go back to the old shock style, or you can use the springs or other components like the rods or anything like that. If you tend to break one, you can replace them with these components here. More springs here for the exhaust system. The old factory exhaust comes with it. Plenty of battery box caps and antenna mounts. That's all pretty much the RC8 stuff right there. And the biggest thing, remember, is it's got a brand new RC8 Team Associated 0.28 Pro that comes with it as well, plus the working one. These cars are fully functional, ready to go, ready to race. You add the fuel, and that's it. They're ready. They're programmed in the controller. They have everything they need to run. Extra springs, different color springs, depending on what the kind of suspension you want for your Traxxas. You got the white, the brown, the blue, the gold, whatever you name it. And I pretty much got them. Clutch bells, or not clutch bells, but clutch pieces there. Then you have your components for your transmission, if anything were to go out. Your different types of gears, change your gear ratio. Some boots here. Your front diffs and your rear diffs, 2 brand new diffs, more A-arms, and plenty of filters and fuel tanks for the Traxxas, along with all types of servo arms conversion kit for if you want to change the servo out. Here's the aluminum throttle and brake arms for the Traxxas, all types of O-rings and other rings and you name it. And if you're gonna break it, I can replace it more than likely. Your complete steering system, and I have a few more things I want to show here in a second. Plus a whole bins of just the used components that I've been through that I swapped out, changed out, whatnot, but are still good. And all that what I call crap because I don't use it anymore is gonna get tossed in with it as well. And there's a little bit more. Here you have other things like your sealing compound for your engine, if you need to seal anything up on your engine, sealant, stuff like that. More B-box for your tires, miscellaneous tools that come with the car, along with a bearing cleaning kit and an extra factory team associated, like low plug igniter. Small case here with miscellaneous screws, nuts and bolts, crystals for remotes, and clutch components, more body clips, a lot of body clips. And then in here in this bigger case, more piggyback shocks, other types of shocks, all your bushings and bearings, and so you got a crap load of bearings, pretty much to cover the entire car, extra servos, belts, wheels, and stuff for your battery boxes, extra clutch components all down here, clutch bells, and here you have all your tire component stuff, your boots, your boots, and all your nuts, and some fuel primers. Yeah, extra. This is for the Traxxas. This is extra spur gear. You know, you pretty much need it. I pretty much got it. But all this stuff comes with it as well. We're gonna have a huge investment as far as parts go, because being in Iraq, I have to order ahead of time and get resupplied ahead of time before stuff breaks. So there's a mini store going on. So if you have any other questions, please contact me at herphalfwayhouse@yahoo.com. That's HERPHALFWAYHOUSE, all one word, at yahoo.com.